Craftsmanship log. Doctor Strange outfit. Remaking of the wrist wraps. This is the top elastic part of a foot sock. Pull the whole thing out entirely. Been repairing my own clothes for a long, long time. Poor people who don't get too lazy or depressed. Those who keep their spirit tend to develop a higher level of personal skills and self-reliance than people who are well off, who give low wages to people like me for giving them their high quality products and services. Kings and queens could never make much of anything that they were so privileged to and decorated with. Must be why Calvin Klein had to slap his name onto everything. So I want to start the wrapping from the smallest side, so that's got to be the tightest. Why have they added more color? Even though people remember Doctor Strange as having just one outfit, actually through the movie as well as through the comic book history, his outfits have changed many, many times. I point that out to judges when I need to mark this spot. Damn, they make these thin. What the hell could anybody stitch with them? Let alone get a thread through that undersized hole. I should throw these tiny ones away. I'm switching the thread loops that I had, which are very difficult to pull this through because of the outer edge texturing, to elastic. You have moments, craftsmen and craftswomen will have moments of, why didn't I think of that before? It's because you had other things in your mind, you're in a hurry, and you're being idealistic about what you could do rather than what you could actually do. Paint pens. Fastest way to stir it. Faster than shaking, especially if there's not much paint left in it. Turn it over. Good. Also give the pen a little rotation too, because you'll run out of ink or paint on one side of the tip faster than the other. Make sure you get a good paint flow. It is drying up. Ah, boy. If it wasn't a large percentage of cotton, I could use a lighter to hold the flame near it, not on it, and get the threads to shrink. Well, it's hardly visible. I'll abandon this part for now. Considering the size, I'll have to do this. It's left over from what I put on my cloak. Put that through twice. Use the needle to hold this in place. Pull it down, tighten it up. It helps tie that knot flush with the cloth. Another knot up against it to lock the thread, keep it from coming loose or untied. Another one about 2 millimeters up. I'm going to cut between the knots. That way this one's ready to go for another round. Elastic is a combination of nylon, I believe, and rubber. Do not put it into the flame, just put the flame near it. Melt that end, pinch it so it's less likely to become unraveled over time. This one takes a special knot. Okay. So nice not having roommates, which I've chosen for pretty much all of my life. It's doing this. Twist that needle until you get it loose, otherwise you're going to end up with knots where you don't want them. And go around that once. Hold that sucker together. I'm going to give it more space this time. I had it too tight to begin with regular thread, not elastic. I made putting these on and taking them off very time consuming. Chinese needle torture right under the fingernail. Actually, I think that's Japanese. Reflexes are important. No blood. Reflexes are very important. You can prevent some of the worst injuries by having outstanding reflexes. This method I'm using is to spare all the extra cutting, but I still got to put the knots in where they're important. Make sure you didn't stitch to the other side of the cloth. I know it's really hard to see. Tough. There's a million tutorials out there anyway. Somebody's mother, aunt, or granny is gonna have more entertaining advice. This is my project. To get knowledge of reflexes like this, I had a lot of craft projects in my youth. Metal, wood, cloth, plastic, leather. I went through plenty of injuries and plenty of mistakes and corrections and trials. There has to be a lot of failure for your mind and hands to absorb the lessons of the skill. Now I'm eyeballing it, make sure that I got this here, that I got it evenly spaced. When I went to competition in Sioux Falls, the crafts judges weren't, well, I was doing a mental comparison. Before I went to Sodak, I was on a Facebook group where the judges were watching me ahead of time, making posts about my crafts ideas, notes on my putting it together, evolving poor ideas into better ideas. So they had that insight. But when I went to SuperCon, there's no related group that I was in early enough. And so they didn't have a preview of what was going into my work. They just saw the end product. And they were only giving out first prizes only. First place prizes. I could have given it a little more space. I should have better measured it before I started. I should have done... I could have had that a little closer and tighter. If it doesn't turn out right, I can always clip these off and start over. It's going to be a pain in the ass to take my computer there. Maybe I can post it on Facebook or YouTube and ask them, well, try to find a group ahead of time so you can show them just before the competition. Carrying a computer with you. I don't do the fancy brain scrambling phones. To show them what went into it so they get a better sense. And so they can be sure that it wasn't somebody else who made it for me, that I did it myself. They do have that in the back of their minds. I have no doubt on human nature that there's a lot of people who, in big conventions, cosplay conventions, compete in craftsmanship when they paid a professional to put it together for them. Maybe that's the reason why they don't have cash prizes. Certificates instead. I know it's hard to see my stitching black on black. It's hard for me to see too. But I'm not giving you a professional class. I'm just documenting my work. I'll only have to thread this one time. I just leave it loose until it's time to put it on. Then I tighten it up over my wrist. Tie the loose ends. I'm going to take it off. These stay in here. No problem. Well, I think before I stop, I might as well just put this on and show how I apply it. It's going to go over a long sleeve shirt. Dr. Strange's outfit, worn by Cumberbatch, is a very complex piece. It's definitely designed in such a way to where copying it exactly would be extremely difficult and time consuming and expensive. This sucker's a beauty. It's an old-fashioned mechanical watch. You can see all the moving parts. I had to use my craftsmanship to take out a couple of links. Regretfully, I had to put a couple of tiny scratches on this. But I usually don't wear watches because I tend to bump into things and have a discomfort with wearing jewelry. It's even got a glass back.